UFC 291, the BMF belt was on the line. Expect the unexpected with Justin Gaethje. The highlight is his nickname for a reason, mainly because he makes so many highlights and has made so many highlights in his career, but he's always so unpredictable. The dude gets hurt, comes back, wins fights, knocks dudes out, looks like he's on the ropes, and ends up going out there and getting his hand raised, usually in a dominant highlight reel fashion. And that is exactly what happened at UFC 291. Did anybody in the entire world expect Justin Gaethje to knock out Dustin Poirier with a head kick? Knock out Dustin Poirier, possibly. Win the fight. Definitely a lot of people out there who thought that. Batter him with his punches, his slick, fast, precise combos with his hands, absolutely. But to throw a right hand with a right high kick behind it, a rear leg high kick behind it, and land it right on through Poirier's guard and then knock him out, nobody expected that. Nobody expected that to happen. So when I broke down this fight, what I thought was going to happen, who had the speed advantage, the power advantage, the grappling advantage, who's got the dog in him. We did a video like that last week to break down this fight because I was really excited about it. Not only because it's two guys that I fought, they're in my weight class, but also because they're just entertaining guys. When you talk about who deserves a fight for the BMF belt, Dustin Poirier deserves to fight for the BMF belt, and Justin Gaethje deserved to fight for the BMF belt. The fight, to me, how it started, it's a 5-round fight. If you got to remember too, these guys, this is a rematch. These guys fought, I think they said 2018, and Poirier finished Gaethje in the 4th round. That was back when Justin Gaethje was Justin Gaethje 1.0. Now he's Justin Gaethje 2.0. So back then, Justin Gaethje was a lot more reckless. He had his moments. He definitely did some work on Poirier, but Poirier ultimately ended up finishing him in the 4th round. So I think Justin Gaethje, being the more veteran fighter now that he is at 34 years old, Poirier is also 34, both 34 years old. Him realizing, he lost 2 fights in a row. I think he lost, can't remember if it was Poirier then Alvarez or Alvarez then Poirier, but he lost to Poirier and Alvarez subsequently. And I think it was at that moment that he and Trevor Whitman realized, hey, you're the man. You're going to win fight of the night. You're going to win knockout of the night, performance of the night all the time. You're going to stack up big old $50,000 checks every single time you fight. But you may never be champion fighting the way that you're fighting. And I think we can all agree it is working out pretty darn well for Justin Gaethje. This fight started a little bit different than I thought. A lot of low leg kicks. Obviously, orthodox versus southpaw. So these guys were doing switch stance, low kicks, beating up each other's legs. Partly probably because it was, it was a 5-round fight. They didn't need to go out there and start brawling right away. They needed to get the distance, use kicks sometimes to get that distance. It's a way to stay out of punching range a lot of times and be able to throw kicks and not be in the pocket, so to speak. In the pocket, meaning I am close enough for my opponent's glove to touch my face. So they started out with a lot of low kicks. Poirier had Gaethje hurt twice in the 1st round. Gaethje, as he always does, head usually comes down, butt goes back. That's kind of his stance he goes into whenever he kind of gets put on roller skates, gets backed up against the cage, bounces off, throws another combo, gets his wits back about him. So I think if you had to give an edge, Poirier wins that first round. But it was a 5-round fight. Both guys wanted to do a little bit of, a feeling out process. I know you guys want to see us go out in blood and guts right away and start slanging and banging. But these guys deserved, somewhat of a feeling out process. It wasn't that feeling out of a process like a lot of guys do. These guys are still going after each other. Guys were still hitting each other with hard shots, hard combos. And you saw what would eventually finish the fight, which is a rear leg, right high kick to Dustin Poirier from Justin Gaethje. You saw that in the 1st round. He threw it in the 1st round. Poirier was at the post-fight press conference talking about how he threw it, but there was 2 distinct differences. The first high kick was when Poirier was pressing Gaethje. Gaethje stepped on his back foot and then just threw it out there with nothing in front of it, nothing to set up. He kind of just threw it out there. But I think that gave Gaethje the confidence that that high kick was going to be there. Didn't throw it the rest of the first round, and then ends up throwing it in the second round, middle of the second round, after a couple combinations already land, after they've gotten their boxing punching distance. And Poirier, like a lot of us, did not see that fight or that kick coming. Number one, just from a philosophical overarching standpoint, that Justin Gaethje doesn't really throw a lot of high kicks. He's known for his low kicks. He's going to beat up your lower leg, but to throw a high kick to your head, if you would have said, hey, there's 10 different ways that this fight can be finished, a right high kick by Justin Gaethje, knockout of Dustin Poirier, would be the lowest on my list. It would be number 10 on my list, not even close to number 1. I would have chosen Justin Gaethje to batter up Poirier to then maybe get the submission, some kind of submission, before I would see him knocking out Poirier with a high kick. But there was 2 distinct differences. That first high kick, Gaethje was moving backwards as Poirier was pressing him. He kind of back, stepped on his back foot, and then threw it out there. The second one, if you see it and if you watch it, it was beautiful. It was beautifully set up, throwing the right hand. So the right hand is in Poirier's face. Poirier kind of flinches a little bit. He's not thinking about that rear leg kick coming back and being right behind it, foot wrapping right around the head, Poirier falling, and then Justin Gaethje hitting him with a one last final shot. As Herb Dean, got to give a shout out to Herb Dean here. Herb Dean slid in like he was sliding into home plate and saved Poirier from more damage. Although Gaethje was definitely one and done, about to walk away. It wasn't as if Gaethje was not going to keep on raining punches down. Poirier was definitely done. And this is what you love to see in the sport, even though these dudes are fighting for the BMF, the baddest mother effer alive. Even though they're fighting for, it's not a world title, but it's a belt, and it signifies being one of the baddest dudes or the baddest dude on the entire planet. It doesn't mean that these guys are going to go out there and be barbaric. It's not the most barbaric dude on the planet. It's not the most pugilistic guy on the planet. Just the baddest dude on the planet who knows, okay, this guy's hurt. He's done. Boom. One shot. Herb Dean goes in. He's out. He wasn't going to throw any more punches. But crazy the way that the fight went. I think Poirier, as I said, I think Poirier was winning the fight. I think Gaethje had his moments as well. But it just goes to show, I think it's hard too, because we're so used to seeing Justin Gaethje fight so hard, so fast, have his foot on the gas all the time, that when he's circling and he's moving, which he's got great footwork, great movement. Him and Trevor Whitman, I think, have worked so much on footwork, movement, angles, getting in the pocket and out of the pocket. Sidestepping one way to get into the pocket, sidestepping another way to get into the pocket, setting up traps. Justin Gaethje is no longer just a pugilist who goes out there and swings for the fences and wants to brawl. Justin Gaethje is on a quest to win a world title. And I think Justin Gaethje will go out there and win a world title. Whether it's Makhachev or Oliveira, Gaethje's going to get that title fight next. Those dudes fight in October, so that leads these guys into the first quarter of next year. I think Justin Gaethje's the UFC lightweight champion by the first quarter of next year. I think he beats Islam. I think he beats Oliveira. I just think Justin Gaethje has cleaned up. He already had all the attributes. He already had the cardio, the speed, the power. He's got great wrestling defense. He already had all the attributes, but now him honing in those skills, it's going to be tough for one of those dudes to beat him, I think. Obviously, there's going to be the Islam people who say, I can't believe you say that, or the Oliveira people. I'm not doubting either of those guys. You know, when we make these fight predictions, it doesn't mean that I'm doubting Islam and Islam isn't good, or doubting Oliveira and he isn't good. I just think Justin Gaethje has all the tools, and now even more confidence, because now he has righted one of his wrongs. I'd have to pull up his record, but he lost to Eddie Alvarez. Eddie Alvarez is no longer in the organization, so he can't right that wrong. But now he righted the wrong of losing to Dustin Poirier. Now they're 1-1. So he was able to get that victory back, so to speak. So I think it would be really cool if Oliveira beats Islam, and then it's an Oliveira versus Gaethje rematch for Gaethje to go out there and win the title. But once again, Islam's a great champion. Oliveira is championship caliber. That fight's going to be awesome in October. But I think Justin Gaethje has all the tools to be able to go out there and win the world title. Who would have thunk it? The BMF title is up for grabs, and it's a second round head kick KO by Justin Gaethje, the human highlight reel, making highlights nonstop, but in a very technical manner. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you all saw my first video. I was correct in my prediction that Gaethje was going to win, but I didn't think he was going to finish Poirier. Poirier has a granite chin. Poirier is just so skilled, great defense. And Poirier still has great defense. His little deal he does here, whichever one it is, one hand up, elbow in front, that works most of the time. Justin Gaethje's kick actually went through Poirier's guard and still knocked him out. That just shows how devastating kicks are. When you wing up the biggest limb in your body and the strongest limb in your body, hips and butt and legs, your strongest part of your body connected to the core. When you wing one of those bad dogs up, bone, shin, foot to the back of the ear, it's a lot of momentum. It's a mini car crash happening. Even through Poirier's guard, he was able to put him down. But hats off to Poirier. He is still one of the BMFs. He is still a BMF, even if he doesn't have the title. But hats off to Justin Gaethje for getting the job done in spectacular fashion, and continuing to wow us, continuing to want the fans want more of Justin Gaethje, because this Justin Gaethje 2.0, the newer, better, improved version of Justin Gaethje, is going to be a world champion first quarter of next year. That's my prediction. Let me know if my prediction is correct in the comments. Thank you all so much for liking, subscribing, and commenting. Let me know if I'm on or if I'm off. God bless. We'll see you at the top.